Hello, everyone. It's another brand spotlight. I'm here with Derek Allen Mason, who has been in my world for quite a while. First, I'll get you to introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about what you do, Derek.
Hi, I'm Derek Mason. I'm the founding director of a structural engineering company called Superstructures Associates, or we call it SSA for short, because it's quite a mouthful. I've got 40 years experience in structural engineering, and we help anyone from homeowners to developers to architects, anyone dealing with property, how to develop it in the most cost-efficient way from a structural perspective.
Fantastic. And you've been in that business for
40 years.
40 years. Wow. So you know your stuff.
Yeah.
And the business that we're looking at today has been going for how long?
14 years. I founded it in April 2011.
Fantastic. And whereabouts are you based, Derek?
The office is based in Twickenham in southwest London, and I've got engineers and CAD technicians and a PA that work for me.
Cool. So we're almost neighbours because I'm West London as well. So let's take a look first at your LinkedIn because I think that's where most people will find you when they first get in touch with you. So you've got your logo at the top, which is great. You've got, are you an architect looking to partner with chartered structural engineers? So you're speaking directly to your target market. Fantastic as well. The messaging's really clear. Working in partnership with architects to achieve their outstanding designs that really wows their clients. Again, that's saying what you do really clearly. I feel there's maybe a little bit of repetition in those two messages. So maybe that could be combined and made a bit punchier and shorter to give it that more wow. And I think graphically, the whole thing could have more impact. Because think of that as your advertising, your billboard, and think about it in terms of the billboards that you see on the road as you drive past. They have a lot of visual impact in a very short space of time. So shorter messages usually works well. But the logo is great that you've got there. So instant recognition because you're using it on other platforms too. I'd say your profile picture isn't the same profile picture that you sent me. That's all I'm going to say on that. So what I would say is try and make those uniform across all platforms. So if the more recent profile picture that you've sent me was the one that we used to promote this episode going out, that's the one that you should be using across everywhere. So people recognize you when you show up on different platforms. Again, it's just about having that synergy elsewhere. With the contact details at the bottom, I'm not sure they're massively relevant. If you've got the contact info in your LinkedIn contact info, you can put that stuff there and it's actually linkable there, as opposed to if you put it in your banner, it's not linkable. So have you got that in your actual contact info there? Yeah, and that's clickable. What does it say underneath here? I'm an author and chartered structural engineer working in partnership with architects to achieve their outstanding designs that really wow their clients. One thing that I would say about that headline piece is speak to your target audience first. So the first few words that you've got there are talking about you, not about your ideal client. And when you comment on other people's posts, you do get a few words come up underneath your name. I don't know if you're aware of that when you comment on other people's posts. So those few words should speak to your target client. So if you say working with architects, for example, as the first three words, they will show up when you comment on anybody else's post. So that tells people whether they should be connecting with you or not. If you're saying I'm an author in charge and that's all you're going to see, it doesn't say much as to why anybody should connect with you. So I would flip that round if I were you.
Okay.
Apart from that, doing great. Do you get most of your business through LinkedIn, or is it more referral, or is it repeat business?
LinkedIn is where new people find us, find me particularly, but a large majority of our work is referrals, recommendations, and obviously repeat clients.
Yeah, cool. One other thing that I would say is it might be that your followers are very niche because you've got 1,644 followers. It might be worthwhile connecting with more people in the architect space in order to grow that base, because when you are posting, you only hit about 5% of your followers each time you post. So if you think about the numbers there, the more you've got, the more likely you are to get more new people seeing your messaging. If LinkedIn is for new people. The next thing you sent us was your brand guidelines. Now, tell me about this brand and when it was actually created for you, Derek?
Okay, so it was created in June 2012, which is just over a year after I started my company, because the first year was part-time, so I just did my own version of a logo, as most founders do, because you're saving money, etc. And then after a year, I realized I wasn't professional enough, so found someone that with better skills graphically and knew what they were doing, hopefully, and this is what we came up with.
So was there a thought process behind it? Was there a concept behind it?
It was, because obviously one of the things I pride myself on is our innovative design, whereas we look at things differently. Yes, from a structural perspective, it has to stand up, but we like to wow our clients. We not like to be able to make big open spaces for them. And we've got the engineering ability to do that. So they don't have a forest of columns to weave through in their rear extension, for example. And from the logo, it's a bit of a origami theme in the sense that the letters twist around and that. And sharp lines and angles and things, again, that was more to refer to from the structural aspect. If you look at the a triangle is the strongest structural form. So I wanted something like that in the lettering, and that's where the A is. And the S obviously just follows the name, Superstructures. Having that sort of origami effort, to me, that shows a bit of innovation, being different, standing out, and the colors, red stands out. I like the red. Blue's always been my favorite color. So that's another reason why that was chosen.
Thank you for that. So obviously we both like red. That's probably something we've got in common with our brands. I'm not so sure about the color palette. There seems to be two blues there. You've got primary colors and gradient color. Oh, I see.
It's graded where there's a bit of a shadow on it.
Got it. And I'm not sure about that brown in the middle, the sort of dull red where that sits. But in terms of the logo, now that was designed in 2012, which quick bit of maths is 13
years ago.
13 years ago. One of the things that a standard for rebrands, most businesses tend to rebrand around the 5-year mark. It can be 3 to 5 years, certainly for fast-paced businesses, especially startups who, like you said, may start out with something that they've made themselves or done on the cheap, and then they get to at least the 12 to 18 month or even 3-year point, and then they go, we really need to up level and upgrade. If they've had something that they're happy with, they may keep it going for another 3 to 5 years. I'd say 13 years is quite a long time to be going with the same look and feel. And that doesn't mean that it would be throwing everything out, but brands evolve over time, just as your business evolves over time. And as your business evolves, that brand should be reflecting the changes going on in your business. So that might just be something to think about. Also look at what's going on outside the industry in terms of design. It's not about slavishly following trends. It's more about seeming current and feeling like you're leading the way as opposed to a follower. That's something I'd be aware of. And I think typographically, it could be a little bit stronger and more powerful. You talk about giving your clients a wow experience, but I don't feel the wow energy yet from this. And I think it's not that far away, but I think it could just be upgraded for where you're at now, because your business has grown since you last had that brand created, right?
Yes.
So I'm just thinking that may be right for a bit of a refresh, but not like a complete overhaul. I think you're not too far away.
Okay.
And you did say that you've had your website refreshed, though, over the last couple of years. Was that?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So the website is looking fresher, actually, than the logo, I would say. And that's because you've worked on it in the last couple of years. Your website has moved with the times. Let me just see if I can actually scroll this website without... Are we seeing? I'm about to break Restream probably by doing this. Can you actually see me scrolling that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was a bit nervous with technology. So it's great. Firstly, it's great that you've got an image of you and I don't have to go searching too far to go and find that image of you. For me, what would make it even nicer is to have you as soon as I land on that website, because people connect with people. So it'd be nice to actually have maybe a cutout of you overlaid on this, and then maybe this sort of on the left-hand side. That's the only thing I would say there. It's great that you've got your reviews really front and center. That's, I'm presuming if I click through to that, I go through to Google. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And you've got, as soon as you get there, tell us about your project. Yeah, brilliant. It's really clear what you do. One thing that I might change around the messaging there is, again, you're talking about you rather than about your target client. So it's a change of wording. It's nothing major, but tell me who this website's for. Is it for me? What's in it for me when I land on there? So if you're talking to architects, maybe mention that, and then give your projects the wow factor or something like that. You talk about wow. I'm not seeing it mentioned here. So it's about having that consistency from what you're saying on your LinkedIn to when I find you here. Keep that messaging consistent. We're here to get your construction project, no matter where you're on your journey. That's fine. I'm still not feeling the wow. And that is one of your big, not USP, but it's one of the things that you definitely feel that you can bring as an additional kind of level to people's projects. This, again, as an image, I feel something like a finished project that would make me go, wow, might actually have more impact than is this work in progress.
Yeah, that was a work in progress. Obviously, that one's finished now as well. But that was quite a big, unusual and difficult project that we did really wow the client with.
Yeah. But as an image, it looks like a building site, which it absolutely was. It maybe as a lead, these are lead images. You've got a wow image here.
Yeah.
Is this one of the buildings that you worked
Yeah.
on?
Oh, yes, that one. Yeah.
I mean, that is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. Whereabouts is that?
It's actually in Twickenham.
So I kind of want to feel more of that with some of these images as well. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. It looks like a war zone. Is this a war zone?
That was a temporary works for that basement project.
Right.
It was keeping the house from falling into the basement while the basement was being constructed next to it.
Yeah. So I've worked with a few people in the construction industry, and they are very keen to show work in progress. And that's not the sexy bit. The sexy bit is like the wow project. We all know sex sells. So go with the sexy stuff on the homepage. You can show some of the work in progress on maybe your blog posts or your socials. And it's interesting to see. But I think as leading images, it's probably better to go with the sexy stuff first.
Okay.
So talk me through these.
It just gives a different sectors that we work in and things that we can help people with, because if they're looking for something particular, they see that, oh yes, they do that, and then they can click and go straight to that.
Cool.
So they don't have to hunt around looking for it.
No, that's brilliant. If you know what you're looking for, then that's great.
And then there's a link to a video where I describe how we work, people we help, etc. So they can look at that if they want to as well.
Perfect. So I think it's a really good start. I think there's just the imagery, I think, is the thing that could be strengthened on this, and a bit of the messaging. I think the structure is really simple and easy to navigate, and you know where you're going each time. There's plenty of calls to action, and it's really easy to find. The only thing about this is, might that take people off your website? If this is a live link, I'm just thinking, because you've got it down here as well. This is quite nice because you can scroll through it without actually going to the website. So that's a better place, I would say, and maybe just have that as an image, or maybe that should go down to here. Do you know what I mean? Rather than actually taking people off the website, that might be a good idea to take people to just make it so it scrolls down there. And I think that's pretty much all we've got time for. It's a real whistle-stop tour of your brand. Obviously, we've only got 15 minutes, but I'm just hoping that you got some value out of that. And was there any takeaways that you're going to think about after the session?
Same old thing, don't rest on your laurels. When you think you've got it done, well, that's right for now, but time moves on and you need to move with the times. The logo, I appreciate 14 years is a long time to have it, but it was working well for us. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is one of the things in engineering. But yeah, I appreciate that it could do with a bit of a refresh. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be chatting soon.
Yeah, it's not about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's about evolution. If your business is doing well, it's about taking your business from good to great. That's the kind of shift. If you've got a failing business, working on your brand is a bit of a waste of time. So the perfect time is when your business is doing well, is where's the next step. So hopefully that's been really helpful. And I look forward to chatting to you again. Thank you very much for appearing today on our Brand Spotlight.
A pleasure, Sapna. Nice to see you again. Have a good day. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.
For now.
Bye.